Welcome this, I think was it Friday 20th of September. Thought I'd share the progress with the water tank construction, which it's not been exactly strenuous and quite intermittent, to be honest, because what with extremes of temperature and such like and various other bits, events and things that occur in life, I've not achieved as much as I'd like, but there's still plenty of time. So I'll show the progress so far. So I've started making in that corner the sort of earth clay, which will be the sub base before the cement will go on, and a retaining wall. It's got gets a bit of slippage off the bank, so I thought we'll put in a sort of retaining wall earth clay again, and there's the sort of back wall. Let's see which is the best way to show you this. And of course this other wall is going to need quite a bit of work doing to it again with the earth clay. So it's an ongoing process, but it is getting there. Excuse me. So it's been a bit of a, shall we say, a testing time this last week or so, just as of the daily, shall we say, challenges, mostly sort of the financial, trying to keep a sort of steady stream of income, and it's a bit like the stream here. It's sort of dried up at the moment, but it's hold true to what you create and also use the resources you've got. So bit of self-advertising on this channel. 3-card tarot card readings. People have said to me you should charge more, but I don't feel I want to be honest. I'd rather keep things simple. I mean, it's not a full tarot card reading, which most people would sort of expect, where you have like the cross and then the 4 cards to one side. Or there's various different layouts for tarot, but I just do basic three cards. But the thing is to remember, if we look at the etymology, it's basically sort of the door that you're at. If you flip the 2 vowels over, it's the tor at. It's where you're at the moment. It's not it's nothing to do with predicting the future. It's just almost having like an outside perspective. Sometimes when we're too close into something, we can't see what's being presented to us, because we're sort of so stuck in the detail, and not seeing that it's not just a pinprick, as it were. It's actually it's the axle of a much bigger wheel. The wheels within wheels, our own mini universes within a universe, and the interconnectivity of it all and such like. So ideally what I'd like is not even, shall we say, repeat. I don't like to use the word customers, but I can't think of another word, but the same people coming back on a regular basis, although as and when it feels right to you, of course. But ideally, if I was doing maybe 6, 8, maybe 10 readings a week, even going on a sort of basis of €5, £5 or $5 for a 3-card reading, because it's basically about half an hour. So that would say I'd be earning €12 an hour, which would be a decent sort of wage in that sort of material world, but it's about balancing things. It's not. I'm not here to make a massive fortune, but obviously you have to put food on the table for myself. Although ultimately, this construction here is about being able to grow more food and grow a surplus, and then maybe help supply another community and get a network of communities going, creating a wheel within a wheel. So there is an alternative to the ever so increasing restricted choices and that people seem to have in the outside world, in the sort of material world, as it were. I don't want to sort of dwell on such things. Anyway, so we've that's the course of the stream. So with my trusty brush cutter machine I have here, there it is. But it's sort of, the universe is saying, get a grip. So, and it's actually an interesting and quite a relaxing therapeutic exercise with a purpose. It's not like going down the gym and about being sort of the body is the temple sort of worship. It's more creating something long term beyond the lifespan of this body. But of course that needs financing as well, with cement and things. So I'd rather not ask for donations, but I'd prefer to go down this reciprocal exchange route and be able to give something back. And of course, if you're suffering with anxiety, depression, or panic attacks, I've come out the other side of those, and I don't feel there's a one-size-fits-all with anything. We're individual beings, so it's listening to your individual story and then sort of being able to say, well, have you looked at it from this angle? Because it comes back to, if we're too close in, far too focused, we don't see a bigger picture around whatever it is. So yeah, I feel better about being able to give something back in exchange, rather than sort of asking for donations. So I've done a few readings, and I'm often completely in the dark. I don't know the person, I don't know the circumstances, so I've got no clues as to what's going to come out in the cards. But it comes down to basically the art spirit. What is it? How does this work? Is it just lucky chance, guesswork? You can't even say that it's so general because it's everybody of this particular zodiac sign. When it's an individual reading, that's something that's far more tailored to that one individual. And of course, it comes down to the art. It's the artwork in the cards, which it was something created by an artist. And therefore there is an energy that is contained, that's sort of locked, well, not exactly locked in, but it's within the artwork. And maybe the artwork itself acts as a sort of a broadcast, part of the broadcast of a thought wave. That, and it's just been able to tune in clearer to a signal and be able to say, well, this is what I'm seeing from what the cards are showing, and this is the card showing you where you're at this precise moment in your life. Because it's so easy sometimes you think, well, where is life going? If I trust totally in the universe and give it all to the universe, where's the universe taking me now? But as much as it has a sort of a fear element to it, it's actually it's like an exciting, oh, where are we going next? It's not as bad as it would seem. So this last week, hence there's been no video, it's been quite a sort of testing time in that sense. It's like, just hold true. You're saying to everybody else, listen to what Neville Goddard says, and so you can't not do it yourself anyway. And things do just come right. Sometimes it does seem like, ooh, I wonder this time. But it is about, don't allow those doubts to creep in. It's a beautiful lesson to myself to just keep that in mind all the time, to know it and feel it, and things will come right. They always do. And then there's also, you've got the beauty of a realm where you have a perception of duality. So don't always see these things in the negative sense. It's like, well, that's actually a huge advantage because I can compare. And then when I see some of the, there's a channel, I think it's called Wild Weather, and then when you see reports of flash flooding and people losing their homes, and it's like, I've got nothing really to complain about in comparison to that. That's far more of a sort of devastating sudden change of your circumstances that probably would not seem like something you'd say, yes, big change in that moment. But of course, those things can lead to something better. But obviously, if you're in the moment and seeing it as a negative thing, and that's not to say it isn't a negative thing in a way if that happens, because it's sort of everything is swept away by the water, and but it's a sort of like the universe is saying, well, here's a chance to start again. It's like the theme always seems to be about letting go, having no attachments. Well, that's the universe effectively is like taking away all the attachments, things with sentimental value, whatever. So at the time, I fully appreciate that would seem awful, but it's something that then becomes in the past. So I wonder it's always a mirror. So there's like the negative polarity. So it won't be long before its positive reflection will make itself known. That's a pattern that I'm finding with this reality. It's like the sky is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? It will be welcome in a way, but I don't know, it might make this work on this tank easier with this earth clay here. I mean, there's an abundance of material. It's only just the cement and sand and then the waterproof cement that is going to need sort of any financial assistance, but the actual construction, I can just keep plodding away at this, and as long as I try and do a bit every day, even if it's like just half hour to an hour, because there's also the other obligations of watering the things that are planted, so it all takes time. And I've had a beautiful day today already, enjoying the moment of having the cuddles with Eunice and with Demiana, both on my lap at different times. And it's like, no, let's just enjoy this moment. There's still plenty of time. There's no rush, because you know you're going to get it done. And maybe tomorrow I'll spend a greater part of the day on doing more construction. Of course, it does depend on what happens with the weather and the temperature and everything. But as things stand, I shall probably have this motivation tomorrow. I can sort of feel it building up, so I shall capitalise on that, as it were, and do a bit more work. But I thought I'd just make this video just to show you the progress so far. Of course, there's all the pipe work when this was operational a few years ago to go through, and then there's obviously going to need different connectors and taps and things to sort of look at it more in the future, but for now it's just getting this tank up and running. Even if I have to dip bottles in it, it's no great hardship, but ideally it'll be with less actually carrying water about and more sort of water outlets in situ, as it were. So yeah, there's the shopping bags. We go shopping for debris and leaves and things for the compost, things for the construction and such like. Totally different world here. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying things. Thank you for the continued support and by just viewing videos on this channel and subscribing as well. It's something, it's like where everybody else says it, yeah, I can sort of understand it as well. I do appreciate the comments. I do appreciate the views and everything. Anyway, so that's the progress so far on, was it 20th? I've still got another 10 days, still on target to get the structure finished. So, or at least the sort of basic structure, then obviously it'll be the finishing still to go. But depends on weather and everything else. So thank you very much for listening, and there'll be another video fairly soon, I should imagine.